guys, you know this is the Ring Review.
We're back.
Hey, we're definitely back. I'm Mizzion Smith, and I'm here with
the ESC, Ashley Kay.
Of course, we don't have 2 or 3 of our co-hosts, but we are here.
Yes.
We are here, and we are happy to be here with the current CCW promoter, matchmaker, and owner?
Paul.
Yes.
Paul.
Let's do it. Yeah. Baby. We are here. We are here. We are here. And we also have commentator, interviewer, and company man, Paul Jones.
2 Pauls.
Yo, it's
Two
a
for
pleasure to
Paul.
have both of you guys here. Hey, the Ring Review really wants to say thank you for welcoming us to be a part of the company, and we love working and talking and interviewing and doing all the stuff that we do for CCW. But we wanted to bring you on because we have a great event coming. And it is July 19th, people. July 19th.
This coming Friday.
This coming Friday. And we want you guys to be in Livonia for this event. And of course, we're going to tag it, share it, and let you guys know exactly where to be and how to get tickets. So we're going to do all of that. So pay attention in the comments. But welcome. Welcome to the Ring Review.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's great to have you, to be honest.
I'm curious as to want to know the history behind CCW and how it came about. So, Paul, you mind sharing with the viewers?
Yeah, why not? All right, so go ahead and pull back the curtain a little bit for y'all. Started the company in 2021, and we've been rocking hard ever since. We started at the Centerline Independence Festival. Our latest event was our Ruckus to Richmond event that you were so greatly a part of.
Yes.
We raised over $2,600 in charitable donations for the animal rescue out there for all the special needs animals. That's right, CCW #1.
Yeah.
Not for the wrestlers and the fans, but the animals too.
Well, I mean, thank you for giving us that back, that history. I do want to ask you this though. For CCW, what is it that makes it different from every place else?
What makes City's Championship Wrestling different than everybody else? Well, let's just start. We have the best wrestlers. We have the best production. We have the best staff. Paul Jones, Bubba McKenzie on commentary. We have the best matchmaker, if you will. And we have some of the hardest hitting action that you will ever see in a professional wrestling ring.
Well, man, y'all heard it first. But we have Paul Jones here. You get the pleasure of calling some of the great matches that City Championship Wrestling has to offer. What's that experience like for you?
It's honestly hard to describe, Mission. It really is. Like you will, I've noticed a lot of folks that are lucky enough to work in the office and at ringside. You'll hear that a lot, that we are getting to live our dream, and that's true. And that's something I also think makes CCW different than other wrestling promotions, is reminding, like, this is about a dream, right? These young men and women have a dream of becoming superstars and maybe being role models to the children, and give families somewhere where there can be family entertainment again. Since we've lost so much, the carnival, the circus, seems like a lot of it's dying off. And we forget that's what wrestling's about. It's about a place for people to dream that they can obtain something better than what they have.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that entertaining the audience is a key. But having a great wrestling program as you guys have, we've been able to witness some really great matches. So even if you're just a novice wrestling fan, I'm going to tell you personally, you need to come to a CCW event, because there's nothing like it out there, nothing. So it's second to none. But let me ask you this, Paul. As the matchmaker, how has it been for you to see some of these great matches happen and some of these things that are happening within CCW? How has that been for you being outside the ring and looking in?
Well, let me answer in two parts. One, I really don't like being outside the ring. I lost my career last November. Ended up the company put me in charge, and then I hurt my back last January trying to train for recovery. All right, so that part, don't really like not being in the ring. But since I can't be in the ring, I'm gonna put on the best cards for these fans. What that means is the best matches, the best wrestlers. So we're going to see the Motor City Machine Guns. You're going to see Rhino. You're going to see Freedom Ramsey. You're going to see Timothy Thatcher, Isaiah Bronner, Paragon, Zico. The list goes on and on. Shogun Jackson Stone, Darien Ultra, New Albania. Even though I don't like them, they suck. They're on that list. But the point is, not just do we have the people that have been around. We have the people that have been here, and now we have the people coming up. So we have guys like the Starman Harley Rock, Joseph Antonio Guerrero. We have this new cat, Midas. He's taking over the scene. You don't even know whose corner he's going to be in next. And then, not to mention that, you got people like Leela Hall and Rory Shield stepping it up for the women. They're going to be the next ones that make it. Okay? That's what everybody on my roster. That's the reason why they're on my roster. Is because they're going to make it.
Okay.
Who do you think
this is the place where they
guy?
start?
Who is the company guy right now? Who would you say is the face of CCW?
I'd say the face is Freedom Ramsey, the current heavyweight champion, and that being he's been in the first ever City Championship Wrestling matchup. He was the first ever City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champion, and if he would have been successful at the Survival of the Fittest, he would have been the first ever CCW Heavyweight Champion. Okay, and that just it don't get much better than that. His win-loss record is impeccable. I think he's only lost 3 matches in 3 years.
Wow.
And it don't get much better than that.
So let me ask you this. Freedom I've seen wrestle just in Richmond. And he had a match with the Natural Land Star, which to me showed great talent between these two superstars, right? But my question for you is this. He's the heavyweight champion, and he has a match this coming Friday.
Correct.
What do you think he has to do to pull it out?
I think he's going to have to train harder than he's ever trained before. I don't know if you've seen the videos he's been putting online, but he's becoming a lot more vocal and a lot more articulate with the way he wants to defeat Timothy Thatcher. And he's just, you know what? All he has to do is come in and try his hardest. And I believe his hardest will be good enough to beat Timothy Thatcher because Freedom is that good.
Okay. Paul Jones, let me ask you this. You're going to call this match, right? And it's going to take really hard work, in my opinion, maybe not for you, to call this match just as great as it needs to be called, right? It's going to take some skill to call this match because these two superstars are amazing. So what you say outside the ring for the audience is going to matter. What is your thought process going into this event?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm blessed to have Bubba McKenzie as my broadcasting partner because he has, I don't know if folks know, but this go around on the Mortal Coil, Paul Jones is not trained in the ring. Not this life. So I always like to defer to Bubba because what do I know, right? I get that I don't want to take anything away from the guys like Joe Rogan. It's possible you can break down the sweet sciences from outside, but when you've got a broadcast partner like Bubba McKenzie, I always like to, bring him in on the in-ring action. For my part, I always try to just call what I see. And I'll admit, Paul Jones sometimes has a habit of trying to sound smart, but for the most part, I really try to just, whatever comes naturally. Don't have to purposely try to be flowery with your language or you don't have to show the fans that you are so smart about combat sports. Okay. They just want you to react the way that you would react. And that is actually how I go about it. It really is.
Your thoughts, ESC?
Well, I'm looking forward to Friday, and for the viewers out there, why don't you give us a rundown of the card that we can expect from CCW this coming Friday? What matches do we have to look forward to?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because you brought up the Natural Land Star earlier, and he had an unsuccessful challenge to Freedom Ramsey's championship when Jonte Keith came in and interfered and ruined it all. Okay? And now, as I was speaking to some associates earlier, I was explaining, I said, months and months ago, Lance Starr asked me to bring Jonte Keith into the company. I said, okay. Next thing you know, they're fist fighting in the locker room. They're jumping each other after he matches. I saw the one video that I swear Jonte tried to run him over in a car.
Yeah.
That's beyond the realm of human decency, I would say. Okay? So now, one of my favorite matches that I have scheduled for this card is a relaxed rules grudge match between the Natural Land Star and Jonte Keith.
Ooh,
Relax.
that's gonna be one.
That's gonna be
Yes.
one. Let's see.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. And the relaxed rules is the key there. So relaxed rules means the referee is going to take a step back. And if he sees a closed fist, he might not call it disqualification. If they're outside the ring for about 15, 20 seconds, he might not count them out. Somebody might pick up a wrench and clobber somebody, and it might not be the end of the match. It's all up to the official.
Okay.
Relaxed rules. He's there to count the pinfall or call the submission. Other than that, it's up to him or her, whoever is in the ring, officiating that match. That match is going to be incredible. Main event number 2, as we already talked about the first one, Freedom Ramsey versus Timothy Thatcher. Main event number 2 is going to be Isaiah Bronner, the former AIW Absolute Champion, defending his Naptown All-Pro Heavyweight Championship against Zico, who used to be known as Karam. Karam was actually on the debut of the not the debut, but the first match of the last Evolve card in Livonia in the very same building. So now, few years later, he's challenging Isaiah Bronner for a championship in that building.
We're ready for that, guys. And I know you guys are going to enjoy it, so we definitely want to see you there. What else do we have in store?
Damn straight, we want to see every one of you there. And then let me back up a little bit. So the name of the event is called The Next Step in Evolution is Expansion. We are expanding the range of City Championship Wrestling, and the word evolution and even the logo is a tribute to Evolve Wrestling.
Okay.
Now, that was run by Gabe Sapolsky, who's now WWE, former head of Evolve, former booker for Ring of Honor, former protege for Paul Heyman. Talking to him last year, he said, how come nobody runs this building? And I said, good idea. I'm running that building. And as soon as I got the reins of CCW, what'd I do? I got that building. Which leads me to main event number 3. Paragon, the world's most dangerous gang, defends his Emerge Heavyweight Championship against Anthony King Kong Coleman, local MMA star. That is going to be a hard-hitting match. Guarantee it. And then we have Those Effing Guys.
Wow.
Those effing
And,
guys.
hey,
You know them.
Listen, I know them, and I'm afraid of them. And if you've seen when they came on a ring review, oh man, it's something to be afraid of. But yes, we know who those effing guys are.
And they'll be defending their Chicagoland Tag Team Championship, the very belts they had on this show, last week?
Yeah.
Last week they had them very belts on this show. They're going to be defending those belts against the Dub Club, Ryan Matthias, KJ Reynolds, in a match that's also for the #1 contender, the City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Who are the Tag Team Champions? Please remind me again, Mission.
They are the Motor City Machine Guns.
That's right. Alex Shelley,
There it is.
Chris Sabin. One of the best tag teams, if not the best tag team around.
Yeah.
And who are they? City Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions. That just says it out right there. Who
Yeah.
the best is right there.
Yeah.
Okay, now we go from there. We got Leela Hall versus Rory Shield in a special attraction match.
Man, Leela Hall. Hey, she is definitely a talent to see, guys. Definitely a talent to see.
Yeah, you will not want to miss this one. I guarantee these two women will put on perhaps the match of the night. Perhaps. For real. I'm comparing that to Timothy Thatcher versus Freedom Ramsey, Lance Starr versus Jonte Keith, Isaiah Bronner versus Zico, Paragon versus Anthony King Kong Coleman Jr. They might have the match of the night. Leela Hall, Wyandotte Zone versus Rory Shield. And watch, you'll see those two women eventually make it to the top. Just like everybody else
I
on my
believe
roster.
it. I've seen it in person. I do believe it. Let me ask you this. What do you think is going to be the thing that Leela Hall has to do to win this match, though? Because when you got two great talents and they're hungry, and of course, being hungry in this industry is what you have to be to win. What do you think she's going to do to separate herself for this match?
Well, Rory Shield definitely has the experience advantage.
Yeah.
What Leela Hall is a cheerleading background. Cheerleading is one of the most dangerous sports there is.
Yes, it is.
I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, see, you understand. You know.
Yes, she understands.
Yeah, you could land on your head. You could blow out a knee in the blink of an eye. You could end your life. That's how dangerous cheerleading is. Okay, you have to be super agile. You have to be super athletic, and you have to be focused and determined. What else does that sound like? Professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Leela Hall has to bring all that she brought to the cheerleading competitions to that ring, and I think she can take Rory Shield to the limit.
All right. What else do we have planned?
We have another special attraction match. This one, the ladies match special attraction. Second special attraction with the men, CCW versus TNA.
Oh man, you heard it here first, or maybe you heard it already, but now you're really hearing it because we're days away. So tell us about that match.
So that's Suplex Shogun Jackson Stone representing TNA Wrestling, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, taking on the one Darion Ultra.
Man.
He captured the Puppy Pandemonium Cup when he defeated 14 other competitors in the first ever Puppy Pandemonium match in Richmond. Wild, YouTube, look it up. It's insane. And then not only that, he won the 50-man 2-ring battle royal, last eliminating Andre Kabashi's shady ass, and he won that.
Man, so this guy is really a rising star. And I really can't tell you anybody else I've seen in CCW who is rising this fast. It's like everything that gets put in front of him, he knocks it down. So it's exciting to see a wrestler like that.
It's really all exciting. It's really, really exciting. Okay, so like, I'm so excited. I gotta bring it down, man. All right, so let's stop. Let's calm down. Let's talk about it. Okay, first, the winner of Freedom Ramsey versus Timothy Thatcher will defend that championship against Rhino on August 24th in LA.
Hey, man, here it is. Hey, you're hearing it right now. Rhino, yes. You know who Rhino is, especially if you're from here.
Yes.
So,
damn straight. So that's who's laying in the wings for either Timothy Thatcher or Freedom Ramsey. And the best, and the great thing about that August event, which you're going to find out more after the 19th, is it's also going to be another charity event for the Knights of Columbus down there in Allen Park.
Okay.
They need building renovation.
Okay.
We raised over $2,600 for special needs animals. Imagine what we're going to do for building renovations. We're going to kill it. If anybody else out there has anything like that they need, contact your boy Paul Bowser, City Championship Wrestling. We'll set it up. We'll get you paid. That's right. We'll raise you money.
So I do want to ask you a question because here on the Ring Review we kind of dig in and we do our research before we ask any questions. So what I want to ask you is, I asked you earlier in the episode about if you were the owner of CCW, and you said yes.
Yeah,
Really?
I did say yes.
And I just want to ask you, what's next?
Well, what's next is I'm going to take this thing all the way to the top. That's what I'm doing. So, what's next for City Championship Wrestling is reverting back to, I don't want to say reverting back, that sounds like we're taking a step backward. In actuality, we're leaping 20 steps forward. Starting in August, we'll be back to weekly events with the live audience every single week for you to watch on YouTube, Roku, local cable stations, more details to be announced. Okay, so that's where we're going, right? Who else has weekly television, weekly shows, weekly events?
Sounds like we're going to have a lot of wrestling to watch. And with that being said, Paul Jones, you're going to have a lot of wrestling to call.
Yes, sir.
So, are you more excited or nervous that we've got this big of a program happening and coming forward for CCW?
I think in the sports industry and in the entertainment industry, which obviously we work very closely with these days, everybody hoping to make the jump to Hollywood. I don't know. a good example I could think of, the nervousness. People that aren't nervous at all, they don't understand the position they're in. When I was a little boy, I was taught that if a motorcycle didn't scare you a little bit, you shouldn't own one. If driving a semi doesn't scare you a little bit, you shouldn't be behind the wheel of one. Same thing here. If you're not nervous a little bit about making sure that the fans are getting the quality of wrestling that they expect to see and that they're enjoying themselves and that we're on top of that, again, I was raised to believe that wrestling was just a mechanism to give us a chance to build community in all kinds of ways. And I don't want to forget that either, is that this weekly event, I would say you definitely want to come out, because we might not broadcast every minute of that event. In fact, I'm almost certain that we won't. We might. I think I've proposed the idea in the office that we have enough time with our partner there, the venue owner, that maybe we can do a Metro reality or a variety show. You know what I mean? Stuff for the community. And if you're not nervous about that a little bit, you're a fool. But of course, nervousness is just another word for excitement as well. And of course, I'm excited to be aboard for this ride, not just for the sport of pro wrestling, but for the communities around Metro Detroit, and however far our reach ever expands.
I think that everything you said was well articulated. And I honestly agree with you. You definitely got to come out to these weekly events, because it's not going to be your normal night of wrestling, right? But it's going to be a great night of wrestling. Paul, is there anything that you're worried about, nervous about at the moment?
Oh, I'm nervous about everything. Just how Jones said. If you're not nervous, you don't care. If you don't care, you need to get out of everything. Get out of life if you don't care. Okay? I got one more match, two more matches to discuss about the 19th. First of all, one that I'm very, very excited about. Roddy Suavino versus Asian Gaines.
Oh, man.
These are two outstanding amateur wrestling highlights, okay? And they're going to bring that to the professional world on the 19th. And the last match is a surprise match. Some people know about this. There's been a lot of smack talk on the internet, okay? A lot of smack talk on the internet.
So we know who it is?
Yep, all you assholes out there. You know who the fuck I'm talking to. So a lot of people got their panties in a wad when I express this, that there will never be a hardcore or deathmatch or extreme wrestler on my cards, in my ring, in City Championship Wrestling. And everybody wanted to jump to the conclusion that I said they can't hack it, they can't handle it, they don't have what it takes to be a professional wrestler. And they were exactly right. That's what I meant, every single word about it. And that's why you'll never see any of them in my ring. Until I heard the complaints. Jones wants to talk about being a company man. You talk about being a company man. I'm the ultimate company man. I heard the complaints.
Okay.
I took it up. I have hired not one but two hardcore / deathmatch / extreme wrestlers to compete. Caveat is they must compete in the traditional professional wrestling rules matchup.
Wow.
No weapons, no blood, no closed fist. I'm talking about holds, pressure points, neck cranks, submissions, pinfalls. That. Competition. Not just sitting there and stabbing each other with a blunt instrument. I've seen videos of San Quentin inmates that stab each other with blunt instruments, and they don't call themselves professional wrestlers. So why would I ever allow somebody, I don't know, the likes of Chuck Stein to ever show up? I probably shouldn't drop names, but why would I ever let somebody like a Madman Pondo show up to City Championship Wrestling? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're about wrestling here.
Yeah.
We're about wrestling.
I understand.
Joseph Antonio Guerrero, Starman Harley Rock, Asian Gaines, Roddy Suavino, King Midas, Big Chuck Wagon, New Albania, Cat Daddy Paul Bowser, Natural Land Star, Alpha Chris Moore, Freedom Ramsey, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Rhino, now Timothy Thatcher, those effing guys, the Dub Club. I can go on and on and on. It's about professional wrestling. And that's why you won't see anybody like Chuck Stein at one of my events.
You heard it here first.
Not yet. There's one more pause to that.
Oh, here we
One
go.
more asterisk. That being, I personally will reveal these two competitors in the ring in front of everybody on the 19th before their matchup. And I'm going to allow them to prove to everybody how they can't wrestle.
Hey, man, if that's not a mouthful and you aren't surprised by that announcement, then you don't love wrestling. But you heard it here first, guys. It's on the Ring Review. I'm Mission Smith.
And I'm the ESC Ashley K.
And we've got the great Paul Jones and Paul Bowser from CCW with us.
That's right. That was a mouthful. And if you don't like it, come get a mouthful.
Hey, listen, on this show, we let them come and be who they are. Listen, we're not cooking up anything. We're just here to watch it happen. This is the Ring Review. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.